What's up, gang? Hope you're well. Today we've got a video called Your Trainer Makes Reels, We Make Shots. This is Chris Gatlin. He's actually one of my favorite basketball YouTubers. He does a really good job of just giving tons of basketball workouts. The reason I like his content, we'll have a look here. I've looked him up before. I've seen tons of his content, but looked him up before. This is his website. He's got this workout program. I haven't checked it out, but basically you can download it, you can purchase it, but the things that he promises or the things that he says here, it's just basic. If you practice, if you do these things 3 times per week, if you dedicate yourself to it, you will become a better player. It's just basic. If you put the time in, you'll be better. But there's no scammy sales tactics that you basically see from a lot of these other trainers. Also, I looked him up. Take all of this stuff with a grain of salt, because every single basketball league, every single overseas league and all that stuff, it's all completely different. This says in the games and on, what is this, proballers.com. Again, a lot of this stuff is really inaccurate, but says he played professionally. There's not a lot of information about him. We got this ad here. Had a 13-point game in 19 minutes, but then he played 11 minutes, 6 minutes, and he played 25 minutes. So there's not a lot there to go off of. And then I tried to look him up. I think he went to Louisiana State. Again, no photos or nothing else. So it's really hard to find information, but I don't generally judge coaches or players based off of their stats. Sometimes I bring that up if they use that as a selling point. Chris, however, does not, but he does put a lot of work into his workouts. And we'll watch one here. I haven't seen this one yet, but basically the reason I like his stuff is it's just getting down to the nitty gritty. He shows you either workouts that he's done, I'm assuming, or workouts he's learned from other people. And it's basically just do the thing like we always talk about. So let's watch this one, then I'll talk about my thoughts on it.
One, 2, 3.
That rim.
4, 5.
So he's going through form shooting. I'm assuming he does this in the other 3 spots. So let's skip ahead. So a lot of people overcomplicate form shooting. They'll say either yes, you need to do it, or no, you don't need to do it. Every single person should have their own goals when it comes to warming up or anything like that. I played with a lot of players, some of the best shooters I ever played with, that loved form shooting and swore by it. I played with a lot of players that didn't do form shooting. I actually don't, for myself, I don't really do form shooting, but if I were to draw up a workout for someone, a shooting workout especially, I would almost always start with form shooting. It's just a good way to get your focus on your hands, your fingers, all that sort of stuff. Also to see the basketball go in a couple times before you get into movement and stuff. So there's no real right or wrong, except for the people that say only this or only this. Stay away from those guys.
3, 4.
Big fan of this sort of stuff. High dribbles, 1, 2, 3, high knees into a shot, 1, 2, 3 with the other hand into a shot, especially when you get into very specific moves, because it gets you to be very aware of your footwork and your ball handling and how that relates to going into your shot. Depending on your trainer or depending on someone who's watching you and can really get detailed with those sort of things, it can really put into your brain some specific movements whenever you're trying to make a specific move for in a game or in a live situation. You'll have a plan, or you can anticipate what's going to happen because you've practiced that scenario.
1.
So sorry, what I mean by that is, so with the left hand, so he's dribbling with his left hand. I teach when you go into your pull-up jump shot to bring the ball to your shooting pocket. You'll notice a lot of people will have the ball on their left side, and then they'll bring their shooting hand over to grab the ball, and then they'll put it back into their shooting pocket. So doing drills like this, you can go left, 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 straight into your shooting pocket and up, and then right, right, right. You bring your left hand over to the shooting pocket and up. So these are good ways to practice those. I don't know if that's what he's doing it for, but we'll see. He kind of brings his shooting hand over a little bit, so that's something I would change. Yeah, he shoots from, he kind of shoots from the middle of his body.
3, 4.
I wonder if he does it when he catches in his right hand, because his shooting pocket is like way on the left side of his body. It's interesting. Actually, kind of in the middle. The more I'm watching this, I actually think his shooting pocket is just kind of inconsistent. So that's something I would work on. Again, not judging or critiquing him. This is a workout he's doing on his own, which is why I love so much of his content. This is what more players should be doing.
4.
Okay, yeah, so interesting. Let's watch his shooting pocket here with his right hand. He brings the dribble. He brings his right hand into his shooting pocket. I usually teach bringing your offhand into your shooting pocket just because it's quicker that way. I would be interested in knowing why he does that, or if it's something he actually doesn't realize he's doing. Again, I think players should train like this. Learn how to do workouts on your own and train on your own. Again, Chris has hundreds. He's got almost 200 videos out of workouts similar to this that you should definitely do if you're wondering what workouts to do on your own. Do these workouts, and then when you go to a trainer or an individual coach, like, they should be able to point out little differences or little things that you can fix up or sharpen up, but then you go back and do these things 20 or 30 times again before you need to go back to an individual coach. That's why I think these videos are so good.
2.
Yeah, so he's got a pretty inconsistent like pickup, which
4.
when it comes to now doing your pull up into moves, pull up into hesitations and crossovers, that's when it would really matter. For a lower level of basketball player, it's not going to matter too much. But again, those are just those little details that at a higher level especially matter.
1, 2.
Again, I would just have the same thing of like where his shooting pocket is.
1, 2. 3.
Let's skip to the next one.
2.
I would clean up a little bit of this footwork up here like we spoke about in Delson training video. It's not bad, but I would probably clean this up a little bit. These types of drills are more, to me, they're more of like conditioning with the shot at the end, which is fine. It's less about like efficiency and footwork, so that's something to think about. But you only learn that stuff by doing these drills. So, all right, let's see him go the other way.
2.
Yeah, he does like that little hop skip before he takes off. So that's the part I would clean up mainly. We'll have another look here.
3.
Before his cross. So watch, he'll do his crossover. And then right after this cross, watch this little hop skip he does. You should just, right now he's planting. You should just take off of that foot and your left foot should go forward into your dribble. We talk about this a lot. This is why the negative step or not doing the negative step, this is why I think like the efficiency there or the misconceptions there are, I think you should just plant off of this foot that's already crossing. You should probably go up a little bit more and then cross over into your left. I described that terribly just now. Like I said, I've been sick for the last couple of days, which is why this video is coming out late. That little hop skip right there.
4.
Against good defenders, they'll just push you off balance or off your line. And then does the little hesitates, puts his hand under the ball to explode again. I think once you do your tween, you should be throwing the ball out ahead. You can't go past your defender until you can, like, the quickest you can move forward is how quickly you can get the ball out ahead of you. A lot of people do this boom, boom, rhythm dribble, and then they're like waiting on the ball to get out ahead. If you can get in the habit of just like throwing that ball out ahead quicker, you can move a lot quicker too. Like, again, depends on your intentions, obviously. And I'm not saying that we get called a carry. I'm just saying it's those little habits. This is easy to do, putting your hand under it and go. It's really hard to just catch it on the way through and just push the ball out straight away. So that's why I like practicing that.
2.
Hold on. He's done different footwork multiple. This is what I mean. I'm really pedantic when it comes to footwork, and most people aren't. Boom, boom. Plants, crossover step.
2.
Let's see. Okay, now he's done crossover step both times. Yeah, I think you can just get there with like exploding with your open step, but you can tell his footwork is definitely a crossover step. Let's see if he does it here too. Yeah, same thing.
3. 4. 1.
Again, this is something that's difficult to say whether it's right or wrong. I'm a big proponent of, so he's doing, how many makes does he say? 100 makes. For any of you out there that think 100 makes in a workout like this is easy, it's not. Like, you've got to be in shape to be able to do something like this, which he obviously is. I'm more of a proponent of going full speed with each rep, and I'm less concerned about the makes. So rather than 100 makes, I would say 4 reps on each side, mainly because I'd be more pedantic about the footwork and the spacing and covering ground than I am about worrying about if the shot goes in. What I mean by that, let's watch this. Let's say a defender is guarding him. He doesn't really shift him here with this move. Like, you're not shifting a good defender with that. Not really shifting with that because you're going sideways with your cross rather than towards the goal, so it doesn't look real. But even then, you do that little hop skip that we talk about. So if the defender is on you, not creating space, and then the step back isn't creating too much space. So just imagine where he started, standing right here. Imagine that defender was standing right here. If he doesn't move that whole time, he can just stick his arm out and still block the ball. I do that a lot whenever I'm training kids, is I'll just stand still when we're working on a move. And then I'll let them make their move and show that I can still reach out and and affect their shot. What you really want to do is, I think, attacking from the wing, you want to be getting to the elbow. But if you're making a step back or a retreat dribble, you almost want to be getting to the top of the key. Like, you want to be going here. A step back from the elbow and you just get to here, that defender can just stick their arm out and still hit the ball. So again, I'm being super pedantic. If you're doing this workout by yourself, you're not going to notice all those little intricate details. But doing 100 makes of this or doing this workout, it's going to build up your cardio. It's going to build up your skills a little bit. It's going to build up your conditioning and everything to be able to make adjustments, if that makes sense. So if you do this workout, if you're doing this stuff on your own, it's so easy when a coach or an individual coach comes in now and they go, oh, change this, or oh, I'll make a tweak here, or oh, I would do this a little bit different. It makes it so much better. Most kids are coming in with a clean slate, and individual trainers are giving you a one size fits all. Hey, everyone do this thing. But most of these kids, they can't do 2 or 3 reps without getting tired and exhausted, So that's why I think these trainers, these workouts are so much more important.
2. 3. 4.
Same thing here. It works if you really lose that defender and then you're shooting from here, that's fine. But if you only kind of lose the defender, like, they're still going to be there. That's a really tough shot. Not really creating much space.
1.
I'm nitpicking again. Let's skip a little bit ahead. Let's go to the other side.
1.
Again, these are all, it's all fine stuff. I would just be more pedantic on how much space you're creating on each dribble. This is the reason Luka is so effective without being as athletic as most of the players he's playing. It's because he's just so efficient with his footwork and with his dribbles. Same thing with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. So because Chris uses the opposite step as his really explosive, or the crossover step as his explosive step, rather than learning how to be explosive from your onside step, that's why he doesn't really create a lot of distance off of just this opening onside step move. Watch this. So right here, he plants and he does that negative step that we always talk about, and everyone will go, see, everyone does the negative step. But here, look how far backwards he steps, and he doesn't really go far forwards. You can use the same or less amount of energy to get to this spot and push off of that outside foot, and your crossover step should take you to here, or your onside step should take you to here. Like, you should be really covering ground with a simple cross between legs crossover. I'm going to do a video on this at some point. And I kind of did on the main channel, but I'll do one that details it even better. So watch how far backwards he steps. Like, steps so far behind that line. Well, now when you go forward, like, you're nowhere close to that three-point line. So now you have to get your crossover step to get you to the three-point line.
Oh man, push through. Push through, push through. Oh shit. 2.
Workouts be like this too. Like, it's so exhausted that every shot you take is exhausting. Some of the best players I have ever played with, they work out like this. I don't really work out like this. As I got older, and I knew exactly what I needed to work on. But again, for kids, I would say for 95% of players, 90% of players, this is the type of workouts you need to be doing whenever you just have a basketball and like no trainer, no rebounder, anything. Yeah, but some of the guys I played with, they would do these workouts and they're like, hey, let's go get a workout in. And I'm like, all right. And then we do this for an hour and I'm just like, dude, how you do this every day? I'm tired.
3. All right, y'all, right here. We're gonna do a little finisher, man, to test our conditioning. So we're gonna go corner to corner, 4 makes in a row. We're gonna go wing to wing, 4 makes in a row. Top of the key, 4 makes in a row. Let's get it.
So for shooting, I think these are some of the best drills you can do. It's good. If you watched our shooting video that we did maybe a couple months ago over on the main channel, I talked about, a lot of people will just shoot in one spot over and over. Shoot 500 shots. That's fine. I think volume shooting is super important. I think it's the most important thing you can do with shooting. But now a lot of trainers have been coming out and be like, volume shooting is a waste of time, or shooting stationary shots is a waste of time. Like I said, anyone that says always or never, it's a pretty big red flag. But I think in addition to volume shooting, in addition to shooting from one spot or set shots, you need to do this type of shooting. What this does, it builds your ability to shoot under pressure, like when you're tired, for one. So shooting while you're tired. It also builds your ability to shoot on the move, so shooting from a different spot every single time. It also, like I said with the pressure, consecutive make pressure. So this is really good for you in a game, like when you just shot or you just made one shot, and then the next time the coach runs the same play for you again, and in your head you're like, oh my gosh, I've already made one, like it's going to be hard to make another. If you're used to doing consecutive make drills like this, that's why you see in the NBA some guys can get hot and they can run the same play 3 times in a row, and that player is like, yeah, I can hit 3 or 4 of these in a row because they do it every day or every week in practice. And these are not easy.
1.
Especially when you're missing, you gotta go get your own rebound. Kills the flow. One thing I am kind of against, though, I hate those rhythm dribbles we talk about a lot. You don't ever get a rhythm dribble in a game. Maybe 2 or 3 times a season are you left open enough to do a rhythm dribble. So I think it's hard to do when you're your own rebounder. But I think getting to a spot, if you dribble to the spot, you should just get into your shot and shoot it, or if you toss it to yourself, catch and shoot, just so you're replicating more of a game like scenario. But that's, again, that's like an elite coaching point. If you're doing this with a rhythm dribble by yourself, you're still getting the benefits of the dribble. So I would dribble over to this spot and then maybe throw it behind my back and shoot it, rather than turning around, rhythm dribble, shot. Same thing here, maybe between the legs, but he goes rhythm dribble, shot. Let's skip ahead a little bit.
3. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so most of his stuff, rhythm dribble stuff, that's how I feel about that. Nothing wrong with it, just personal preference. Let me know what you guys think about rhythm dribbles,
4.
or if you even think about it. Oh, this is another coaching point. Let's see what he does here with free throws.
10 free throws in a row to end it. Let's get it.
10 in a row to end. Okay. I'm interested always to see how trainers or coaches or players practice their free throws. For me, I just practice it throughout the workout. So in between going from one drill to the next, I might go to the free throw line and just shoot one free throw. So I just pretend like, okay, just got an and one, you get one free throw. So go shoot the one, make or miss, I go on to the next drill. The next one might be 3. I got fouled on a 3-pointer. So I'd go shoot 3 free throws. I just varied it. I just mixed it up like that, just to build up that pressure that you don't get to shoot 10 in a row. You don't get to shoot 15 in a row. You don't get to warm up before you shoot your free throws in a game. You just go straight to the free throw line. I got that way of thinking from Steve Kerr. When I speak about this a lot, when he used to practice when he was playing for the Bulls, because he wasn't a starter and didn't play a lot, he would sit on the bench and then they'd ask him to go in at the end of a quarter to hit if they were running a play, to shoot a 3. And he had to be ready to make that. So what he would do in practice when he was working on his own is sometimes he would sit on the bench for 3 minutes, and then he would sprint to the other end, shoot a 3, and then go sit down for another 3 minutes, and then sprint to the other end and shoot another 3. So I think practicing scenarios, preparing for scenarios that you're going to see in a game is super important. So there's nothing wrong with making 10 free throws in a row. That has its benefits. I think you should do it. But I also think shooting one-off free throws when you can get a chance, or trying to make 3 in a row, or pretending you got fouled on a 3-pointer, and shooting 3 free throws is super important, just to build up that preparation for when you see those in a game. And to me, 10 free throws in a row, I had a lot of coaches that used to make us do this back in the day. And the problem with it was they would say, you got to make 10 free throws in a row before you end practice. And me, because I wanted to be perfect, I'd be stuck there sometimes. Some days I'd get it done on the first try. Some days I'd be stuck there for an hour after practice. But all of my teammates would always finish in 10 minutes or less. Like they didn't care. They just wanted to go home. So they would pretend they made 10 in a row. It's just one of those drills you have to hold yourself accountable. But then at the end of the day too, I don't think it really builds anything. I don't think it really builds your ability to make free throws in a game. I think it's really good to build your ability to make 10 free throws in a row all at one time. But, shooting 2 in a row and then shooting 1 and then shooting 3 and then shooting 1, which is 10 free throws, that's hard to do. That's hard to make 10 of those like you would in a game. But shooting 10 in a row is just a completely different skill, I think. Again, not wrong. No wrong or right, but just do whatever it is you're doing, have a purpose for why you're doing it.
Work, bro.
Let's see what he says here.
As y'all can see, man, we got it in. Nothing too crazy, man. Just really focus on conditioning. Really focus on efficiency, man.
Really focus on conditioning. Again, trainers just don't understand this aspect of it. Sometimes your workout is to stay conditioned.
Getting into your pull-up, got some 3 work, some mid-range work, man. Just good basketball work as always. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, in my opinion, there's nowhere in the world that you can get this for free. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving y'all the best basketball work to take y'all game to the next level, man. So the real hoopers, man, the people that have real goals to take their game to another level, man. Maybe you want to get out conference, out state. You know what I'm saying? You want to up your scoring average. You want to become a more efficient scorer. Man, it's the best place in the world right here on this channel, man, to take your game to another level. with real work that's gonna transfer right into the, you know what I'm saying, into the game if you put the reps in. So y'all lock in on that one, man, and it's gonna get you better. Man, you know what's crazy is that we go through this life, man, seeking certain things, man.
All right, you guys can go check it out for yourself because this goes for another 5 minutes or so. I'll put the video down below, but definitely go check him out. Like I said, the only reason I brought up the stats and things earlier is because some of the best basketball minds, or some of the people that can help you the most, or some of the people with the best information or that want the best for the game of basketball, didn't necessarily go to the NBA. I didn't make it to the NBA. My journey was completely different than Chris Gatlin's journey, was completely different than the next person's journey. Some people never even played basketball past high school, and now they're professional coaches, NBA coaches. Some people didn't start basketball until they're like 16. Now they're in the NBA. So everyone's basketball journey is completely different. That's why I try not to judge based off of stats or where you played or who you coached. That's why it's one of my biggest pet peeves when someone's selling point is immediately, I coached this person, or I averaged this in high school, or I trained this player. As soon as that's their selling point, to me, I go check out those things. And I go, okay, all of your stuff better match that energy. But instead, I like judging people based off of their content. Martin Luther King Jr. Judge me not on the content of my skin, but the content of my character, something like that. I'm not a history buff, but anyways, I think his stuff is so good because this is perfect for players that don't have access to coaches, don't have access to individual trainers, don't have access to a lot of things. If you can find a basket, and you have a basketball, these workouts are going to improve you 90% better than anything else you're gonna be able to afford, and anything you'll find online. Like I said, yes, you can go purchase his program, I suppose, but you could also just go check out his page where he's got, look, 168 videos of all of this same stuff. So even without purchasing his program, or I don't even know if you buy his program or what it is, and I haven't seen it, so don't take my word for it and say you have to go buy it. But even without that, look how much free stuff you can get anyways. And like I always say to players, that's why I don't have a program that I sell. I'm trying to give you as much free information as possible, and all the information, loud motorcycle, all the information that you need to improve and get better and reach your goals is already out there online. No one has the secrets to it. Just go out there. There's plenty of it. Ask around, ask tons of questions, but don't feel compelled to have to buy something or someone has the secret sauce to make you a pro. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's other players or trainers or anyone you want me to review. I've got a ton that I'm trying to catch up on at the moment over on my notes up here in the top left. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll definitely see you guys in the next one.